Hello everyone and welcome back to another Spigot Minecraft plugin tutorial. Today we'll be talking about commands and actually making your first command. This won't be anything too complex, but I kind of want to just go over the basics of how commands work and everything about them on a very base level. We're not going to be making anything too crazy, but just kind of trying to really grasp the concept of a command and everything that you can do with it. Hope you guys all enjoy, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. And yeah, enough talking, let's go ahead and get into coding. Alright, let's go ahead and hop over into IntelliJ, and so this is exactly where we left off last episode. Just base code that the IntelliJ Minecraft plugin actually gives us, and all we did was add this system out print just to make sure that it was working and loading on our server. Anyways, let's go and talk about commands. So let's actually go ahead and look at documentation for this. So I'll leave the link down below to the Spigot MC Java docs. I highly recommend you guys have this like bookmarked or something. That's what I do. I have it bookmarked on my Chrome. Anytime I have a question, before I go, ask an AI to fix it for me, I always go here, look at the documentation, see if I can figure something out that I didn't know beforehand, see if I can fix my issue. But this thing is just amazing. It's not the best documentation that I've ever seen. It feels a little old to me, but it has a lot of information and you can learn a lot through it. So anyways, let's go ahead and find the command. So what we're looking for is a command.command. This class command, we can see it represents a command which executes various tasks upon user input. It has 3 different fields. It has a constructor, which we actually won't be constructing a command. We're going to actually be using a command executor, and a command is going to be one of the parameters, which I'll show in a second. But I just want to show you this because these are all the methods that you'll have access to inside of your command executor. You can get the aliases, the description, label, name, all this stuff, a lot of different stuff here. And if you want to read about any of those methods, it does, describe everything down here. But yeah, this is a command, and let's go ahead and look at the command executor really quick. So you can see the command executor is actually an interface, which means we have to implement it ourselves. Represents class which contains a single method for executing commands. So we're going to create a command executor for every single command that we have, and then register that command executor to a command, and that'll allow whatever code is below that to actually be ran in the on command method. So this is what we're going to be implementing. This is what we'll have direct access to in the on command, which is a command sender. And a command sender, something good to know about that is a command sender can actually be either a player or a console or a command block as well. So it's very important to know that, because when you run a command, you might run into some weird issues if a command block tries to run it or if the console tries to run it. You kind of want to handle that edge case in every single command that you have. Then you have access to the actual command, and this can give you some of those things that I was talking about. This is what I was just on. The permission, aliases, description, stuff like that, the usage. Then you have a string label and then a string args. Very important, the string label is actually what the user ran. So if I get this command field and if I run command.getName, that's not exactly what the user is going to run. Because for example, if I have a command that is, let's say /feed player, but I have an alias for that command that is /eat player, if I run as a player, if I run /eat Sanamo MC and I get this would be lowercase, command.getName, that's going to return to me feed, but it's not necessarily what the user ran. So in order to get that eat and to get a variable that is whatever the user ran, whether it's an alias or the actual name of it, that's what the actual string label is. So that's why it's part of the actual on command signature. So if we go back, you can see this string label is going to hold either the alias or the name of the command, whichever one they ran. And then the string args is short for arguments. I don't like that they use args, but yeah, that'll be like, for example, if I run /kit Sanamo MC night, then args will be equal to a list that holds the first string of Sanamo MC and then the second string of night. And this is an infinite list, so however many, I say infinite, up to however many arguments you can, I guess, hold in a message in Minecraft. But if I were to do /kit 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, then args would now be a list of 10 different elements of string 1, string 2, string 3. You get it. This holds every single argument that was passed. And if I don't send any arguments by string kit, then now args is equal to an empty list. Pretty self-explanatory, but I do want to go over that because this is what you mess with a lot in commands. And you can read about that more here. Sender, source of the command was executed, and right here, see for label, it's the alias of the command which was used, so that's why it's included. And then the args pass command arguments, if any were actually passed. Now, this is something really important to understand. The statement right here. So executes the given command, returning its success. So inside of the on command, it is a Boolean function, so you have to return either true or false. Always return true, because if you return false, it says if false is returned, then the usage plugin.yml entry for this command, if defined, will be sent to the player. And that's great, because if an error ever happens in your plugin, you want to return false and then send them the usage. Like, this is a good implementation by Spigot. However, in almost any plugin, you're going to implement this yourself and you're not going to rely on Buget to do it. So just always return true and then have your own edge case of if this happens, you know, do like player.sendMessage, an error, like in your own error class, like handle it yourself. Or, I mean, you can rely on this, but it's just not, you have no customization of what's actually being sent. It's just the white text of the usage from the plugin.yml. Anyways, that's pretty much it for on command. Let's actually go implement this. So deleting all of this, let's make our first command, and we're just going to make a simple heal command that's going to heal. We're going to go over here to our com.karter tutorial, or whatever your folder is. We're going to right click on it, press new Java class, and the way that I like to structure code, and you can do it however you want, but I think it's good to implement these good coding practices early so we don't forget them, is put them all into a package called commands. It's just easier to maintain. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do commands dot, and that makes a new package, or you could make the package first and then add it, but I just, this way is easier. Do commands dot, that'll make the package, and then the name of the command. So we're going to be making a command, heal command. This is the convention that I like to use for packages, lowercase, and then the file do camel case, camel case, but also capitalize the first letter. I believe normal camel case would be like this, but I like to do like this, and I think this is convention if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, go ahead and add that, and if you have Git enabled, it'll ask you every time you make a new file, do you want to add this to Git? I always click don't add again and add, so it never pops up again, because of course any new file I want to add, I do want to add to Git. And you'll see over here in our structure on the left, we have commands and then heal command under it, so this is all inside of commands, which is perfect. Now we just have a blank class. How are we going to make this into a command that can actually do something? So what we're going to do is we're going to type implements command executor. And if you don't know what implements does in Java, I recommend, you know, touching up on your Java skills, but that has to pass in an interface right behind it and actually implements that. What an interface is, it's not an abstract class. It's slightly similar though, where you have abstract methods that you have to implement. If you write implements into an interface, it's going to force you to implement those methods. And as you can see, we have an error, and if you hover over it, it says class heal command must either be declared abstract or implement abstract method for on command. So it's basically saying we need to implement this abstract method on command. And so we're going to go ahead and hit implement methods, and it'll select methods implement. We only have the one that we need to, so we're going to hit OK, and now we have our on command method. Let's go ahead and give some space just so we can see. And this is the exact same command signature that I showed you in the docs, and we have this return false. So right now, if we run this command, we're just going to get the usage back. Again, I like to change this to true just so we don't have that usage message and we can handle it ourselves. All right, now let's go ahead and make this command heal the player. So first thing that we want to check is make sure that the person that ran this command is actually a player. Like I said, a console could run this command, and later down the line, you can make it where you could do /heal player, and that way the console could still run it and heal a player. But right now we're just going to keep it simple and let's do /heal, and that'll heal the current player. No arguments needed, just /heal. So we need to make sure that a player sent it. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to say if command sender instance of player. And what instance of does, it just checks if the object before it is an instance of this class. So is checking if command sender is a player. And of course you need to import player from or.bucket.entity. And then we're going to inverse this statement by just inversing that. And so again, just basically saying if the command sender instance of player not, so if they're not an instance of player, then what we're going to do is we're going to say command sender dot send message, and we're going to say this command can only be ran by players. And then immediately we're going to return true because we don't want anything else to happen. We just want to tell them, hey, you can't run this, and let's return out quick. Now this is where the actual body of the method's going to go. Now we're going to heal the player, and the way that we're going to do that, very simple. First, let's just make it easier and grab the player. And the way that we grab the player, if we only have a command sender, is we declare variable player and we cast the command sender to a player instance. And because, a little hard language, but because player is a command sender, like a command sender can either be a player or, you know, a console or whatever, but because player is this, we can cast it directly with no issues. And now we have a player. So now we're going to say player dot set health to 20, because health in Minecraft, yeah, we have 10 hearts, but 1 heart is equal to 2 HP or 2 health points. So really 20 is 10 hearts, 10 HP would be 5 hearts, etc. So we're gonna set them to 20, and then after that, let's send them a message. We're gonna say player.send message, and then we're gonna say your health has been fully restored. Perfect. So that's our whole heal command. Obviously you can add more, but we're just gonna keep it very simple for now. However, this is just a class living inside of our plugin. It does nothing at the moment. So there's 2 things that we need to do. Always remember to do both of them. You're gonna be very confused why your command isn't showing up. If you don't do even one of them, you need to do both of them. So what we're gonna do first is go into our main class, and we're going to register it in our onEnable. We're gonna register the actual class itself. We're gonna say get command, and then we're going to type in the name of the command that we want. So it's just going to be heal, just a string, and we're going to get that command. And so what this is doing is getting it from the plugin.yml, which we're about to populate, and then we're going to say dot set executor, and this is going to a path to an object that can be ran when this command is actually run. So we're going to say new heal command. We're going to create a new instance of the heal command that we just made, and we need to import it as well. Perfect. So now it's registered. It has an actual executor to run when it's ran, and then now we need to tell our build of our plugin what commands we actually have. So we're gonna go to our plugin.yml, and then we're gonna add a new field or a new section called commands, and then add another key that is going to be the name of the command. So again, this is going to be heal. Make sure this matches the string that you put in the original main class that we just did. And then there's a few parameters you can do for each command. Let's just do a description. And we're just going to say heals the player to full health. And then let's also put usage. So this usage is what's going to be sent when I run, or when I return false in a command. Obviously, like I said, I don't like doing that, but if you ever do, this is what's going to be sent. Or if you do like get usage, this is what's going to be returned. So what you can do is you can do open brackets and then do command, close brackets, and then whatever other fields you have. So like if you want to do a player, you could do that here. I don't have any other fields, but this is enough for now. You could do other stuff, like you could add a permission, you could add a permission message. And then also here's where you'd add your aliases as well, aliases. So this is going to be a list in YML. So you can do it one of 2 ways. You can list out and you can go eat, feed, health, or what you can do is you can convert this into a list like this, which is more YML supported and like kind of just the convention, and do like eat, health, food, whatever. But yeah, I guess we'll keep this. We'll add a heal me command. We'll do that for one of them. But yeah, this is all you really need to register in your plugin.yml, and then your main command as well. So remember, get command.set executor in your main class, and then also plugin.yml commands, command name, description, and usage. And yeah, now your command should fully work. So let's go ahead and test it out. Again, remember how to compile it. Go to Maven and then run package. And then now inside of our target, we should have this tutorial -1.0-snapshot. Go ahead and drag and drop that into our server. Drop into plugins, and we already have our plugin in there, so we're gonna go ahead and replace it. And I think our server's still up. Let's go ahead and stop our server and then close out of this, press continue, and now rerun it. Let's see if our changes have actually gone into effect. So now when we go on our server, if we do /, we should see a new command. I could type for it, but I'm gonna look for it. There we go, /heal. If I run /heal, your health has been fully restored, and we can't see that happening. But if I go into, wait, let me get a harming potion just so I can actually show this. If I do game mode survival, and if I harm myself, and then I run /heal, boom, you can see our hearts got fully restored. And I'm also probably gonna die to some skeletons. I can run /heal me as well. That's an alias, and your health has been fully restored. Perfect. But yeah, that's the very basics of how to make a command and how they work. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Sorry this was kind of a very basic tutorial, but I'm trying to cover all aspects of the plugin lifecycle. Trying to make a lot of different tutorials on it, and I promise they'll get more complex and a lot more interesting, a lot more fun later on. But for now, we have to cover the basics. So if you have any questions or if you had any issues throughout this, leave them down below, and I'll try my best to answer them and help you guys out. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That would help me out a ton. But yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.